to the Movie Throne. I'm your host, the one and only King Kansas, here to bring you another King Kansas movie recommendation video right here on YouTube land. Gonna just get into it because I want to make this as sweet and as amazing as perfect as I can be, because there's so many things I have been doing. As you guys know, I've been working on other YouTube channels, our wrestling channel, my figure reviews, which has been upside down because of this whole COVID-19 stuff. But anyways, what am I going to be talking about this week on the Movie Throne? If you guys can see it, I know it's hard to get out of focus, but there you go. The Mummy Trilogy starring Brendan Fraser and who? Rachel Weisz. Well, at least for 2 out of the 3 movies anyways. So, as everybody knows, I think The Mummy first movie is near and dear to my heart. I think it's probably in my top 10 movies of all time. Not because it's probably the greatest masterpiece on the face of the earth, because I love ancient Egyptian mythology. I love the Indiana Jones kind of like, let's discover this. And of course, I love, I'm not going to hate to admit this, but I will say it. I love the love story part of it too. The, 2 different people from 2 different worlds getting together and kind of like forming a bond over an adventure. Yeah, it's lame, but for me, it was good. So anyways, it has sentimental value, personal and all that crap. But anyways, I'm not here to discuss that. I'm here to discuss the Mummy Trilogy starring Brendan Fraser for the most part. At least I know he's in all 3, so you guys don't get me. Like you always know, there's a non-spoiler, then a spoiler. I'm not going to give you the whole entire rundown on every single film. I'm not here to do that, because if you haven't seen it, I'm after all recommending this. I'm just going to highlight certain things that made me excited about the trilogy and why you guys should check it out, because it's definitely probably my top 10 trilogies, and The Mummy, the first one, is in my top 10 movie list of all time, period, hands down. So anyways, trilogy, what does it consist of? So basically, the first one is The Mummy, then it was followed, that was in April 16 of 1999, then it was followed up by The Mummy Returns in April of 2001, and then of course, 7 years later, after back and forth negotiations, we finally got The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, and that came out in August of 2008. Wow, it's been 12 years since the last Mummy, and then we got that Tom Cruise movie, which I enjoyed. I'm not going to say it's the greatest, but it was okay. So, the first 2 films were directed by Stephen Sommers, and the last one by Rob Cohen. Okay, the cast. Brendan Fraser was Rick O'Connell. Rachel Weisz was Evie, who he gets Larry married with, so too bad. John Hannah plays Jonathan, her brother. Arnold Vosloo, which plays Imhotep, the mummy himself in the first 2 films. Phenomenal actor, which was back for the 3rd one. But anyways, no knock on Jet Li. Kevin J. O'Connor played Benny. He's the guy who bites the bully. He's a little creep, but he gets his due. It's pretty funny. Oded Kehr, he plays Ardith Bey. He's that Arabian Night-looking mysterious guy from the desert that protects the mummy's tomb. Phenomenal. He did a good job. You have Erick, Avari, Dr. Terrence Bey. That's the girl who, the librarian who is also working to protect the mummy's thing, and he's kind of like Evie's boss, because Evie's a librarian in this one apparently. Then you have Corey Johnson. He plays Mr. Daniels. Stephen Dunham, Mr. Henderson. Took Watkins, Mr. Burns. Those are the Americans in the film that are also after treasure more than anything. Omid Djalili, hopefully I didn't pronounce that. He plays the warden, Gad Hassan. He was the guy who had Rick at the beginning of the film. Patricia Velasquez plays Anouk Cinnamon. That's the mummy's love interest, which you'll find out the connection as we go on. So this now added to this to the cast in the second film was Freddie Bouth. He played Alex O'Connell, grown-up version of, the little kid in the second one. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson played the Scorpion King. That was the start of his career. We've had Adewale Akinnuoye. I hope I pronounced his name. I apologize for butchering. He plays Lochna. He's like the big hired henchman with the swords. He's going after the kid. And Sean Parks, he plays Izzy. He's the fantastic guy who flies that hot air balloon that they meet in the second. He is funny as hell. He's good. I like him. And then in the third one, we got of course Jet Li. He's the new mummy. He's the Dragon Emperor. Maria Bello, who replaced Rachel Weisz as Evelyn, which she did a good job, but it just wish we would have got her back, but you know, Rachel Weisz, big superstar. Michelle Yeoh plays Zi-Yun. She's the one who's kind of in charge of protecting the tomb. Luke Ford plays the grown-up version of Alex O'Connell. Isabella Leong plays Lee, the love interest, the daughter of Michelle Yeoh's character. And so there's Anthony, oh my god, Chan Sang Wong. He plays General Yang. He's the bad guy who wants this power for himself. You know, you have to have a villain and everything. And of course, Liam Cunningham. He plays Maguire. If you don't know who that is, he plays in Game of Thrones. So that is the list for you guys. That's the cast. Phenomenal actors chosen. Amazing. You bought into the whole Rick and Evie storyline there. How two people from opposite things. One person's pretty much like a treasure hunter like Indiana Jones. The other one is to preserve it. They kind of collide and they're trying to discover the mummy, the tomb of it. And as they do, shit hits the fan. And boy, does it hit the fan. Wow, like I was blown away at the special effects, the storytelling. It was something that we haven't seen since maybe the last Indiana Jones. And I'm not talking about the Crystal Skull, but people are all over that. And I'm not really hating on that film. I just didn't like the way it ended. Just dumb with aliens. But anyway, spoiler alert. It was done well. The storyline from why they were there and then how it gradually forms. Set back in the 1940s. Even though it looked like it was shot like yesterday, the actors brought it. The comic relief, the comedy worked in it. The excitement, the action, the chase scenes, the mummy himself. Holy crap, did that would give you nightmares. And then those Imperial guards who come back and they're kind of like climbing on the walls and shit. That's where the king got the idea that, hey, you know what? There's now a possibility to see Spider-Man climb on the walls. And boy, did we get it 3 or 4 years later. I was happy as hell. That showed the possibility with special effects and what they can do with the mummies like that. They can do the same thing with Spider-Man, and oh my god, it was so good. Brendan Fraser knocked it out of the park. The chemistry between the two lead actors, between him and Rachel Weisz, amazing. Everything else was just an extra bonus, you know. And story, the way it began, and it had an amazing, cool ending. It was phenomenal, and it was open for a sequel, which we got. We got The Mummy Returns, which was great. It continued the history or the connection between Evie and her past being reincarnation of the pharaoh who got murdered at the beginning of that film from the first one. Something went down. I know, kind of spoiled it. Or sorry, guys. You find out her connection with Patricia Velasquez connection, the love triangle or something like that going on. You find out more of Imhotep's, the mummy's connection as well to why he did it. It's cool. Continues the story. They go on another epic adventure trying to stop them this time, and the mummy just goes even more crazier. The desert scenes, the way, again, they're trying to find to, I guess, bring back somebody in the film, which I can't say right now. Pretty much Patricia Velasquez's character. And the way the mummy goes on his journey, and the way you see the Indiana Jones style map with the, you know, the little marks here and there, and they're traveling by train, and the kids leaving him clues, which was kind of cool. Kept you on your toes. New characters were introduced. The Izzy, oh my god, flying that hot air balloon, and the water scene alone. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Oh my god, it was so good. Great for special effects. Then now I don't know if it's gonna pull up, but I think it still worked. It'll still blow people's minds away. It was phenomenal. And then the jungle scene, and when they actually go up to meet up with the Scorpion King, The Rock gets introduced. That was the shittiest part of the movie. I'm going to just hate on it there. The special effects with when he actually shows up are probably the worst I've seen, and I don't know how they would let that go through. It was crappy. I'm telling you right now, it looked like shit. Like, honest to God, it looked unfinished. That's probably the only gripes I have from The Mummy Returns, and that's why I don't have it up to par with the original, to tell you the truth. But, oh my God, it looked so bad. That was, you thought special effects in Wonder Woman and all that crap and Justice League looked bad? This is bad, you know? But the last scene was cool, the way things went down, and, you know, it opened the possibility for a third movie, which we got. We got the Mummy, the Dragon, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, which was great. The Mummy this time was played by Jet Li, so I love that they took it to a different part of the world instead of keeping it in Egypt. and the surrounding areas, or in Africa. They went to, actually, I think it's China, if I'm not mistaken. Don't get me wrong. And they introduced the history and lore of the Dragon Emperor, played by Djalili. 2 other new key characters, Michelle Yeoh's character and her daughter, get involved. You have a grown-up Alex now, the Connells thing, kind of like getting into that mess, dragging his parents back into the fold, and of course, Rick being the dad he is, and he wants adventure, he has to go in, and you got, you fight, they come across mystical creatures like the abominable snowman, or the Yeti, I think it's called in this one. Special effects were great. Maria Bello got introduced as Evie this time, which kind of threw you off. I know it was 7 years later than the last one, but it's hard to replace a character like Rachel Weisz, especially when they have that chemistry. You still felt something there, but it was just a little off for me. That's just me. Rest of the film was enjoyable. It's not going to be the greatest, but I was just happy to get something, because, with us not getting something that's Indiana Jones-like in any of our films, it's kind of like, I don't know, but loved it. From the first movie right to the end, you'll be satisfied. You're going to be watching probably about 6 hours and a little bit of entertainment, popcorn fun. I highly recommend it, definitely, even with the flaws that it does have. And, Maria Bello stepping in the third one, replacing this. Jet Li did a good job. Just the history, the scenery, the action, the special effects, the spectacle, amazing. If you like Indiana Jones this much, you're gonna like that. You're gonna like this film. It fits in along with that. It's something different, something refreshing at the time. The first movie is, like I told you guys, one of my top 10 movies of all time for me personally. Would it make the list for you guys? Probably not, but for myself, yes. As a whole trilogy, I highly recommend it. So there's my non-spoilers, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. Did you guys like any of these movies? Did you like the new Tom Cruise one compared to these ones? Did you think it was a downgrade? What did you think about Maria Bello replacing Rachel Weisz? Because I think Rachel Weisz didn't want to be a part of it. I don't know. I'm just happy we got Brendan Fraser for all 3. Once I had him and Jonathan, I think the actor played Jonathan, John Hannah, I was happy. At least you had that chemistry and vibe going through all 3. Yeah, the kid's going to grow up. We get it. 7 years later and stuff. The Mummy should have came back. The original Mummy. I don't think they should have introduced Jet Li. But that's my personal opinion. Okay. Spoilers. I'm just going to tell you a few. I'm not going to get into too much because I don't want to ruin the trilogy for you. You guys see. Well, the first movie is amazing and introduced O'Connell to all of us. It's kind of like the new version of Indiana Jones, guys, basically. He's looking for the treasure. He's fighting for the British Empire, or the army there. They're invading parts of Egypt. They want to, search the pyramids and all that stuff and get money. There's scientists that are involved. There's librarians, archaeologists. You got introduced to Rachel Weisz's character. She's so into Egyptology. She loves it. She's working at a library, working for these people who are protecting the tomb secretly that you don't know, but you'll find out later. You'll meet Mystery Men. You'll see them going into the tomb, going through different things. Creepy characters, with getting in with the scarabs going up people's arms, like when they're popping them up, because it's like, oh, look, blue gold. And it goes in, you see the way the special effects there. Not totally, oh my God, mind-blowing, but cool. But when the Mummy shows up too, and how he gets introduced, and the backstory of how it is all connected. The first one doesn't reveal how they're all connected between Evie's character, Rick, the Mummy, and Akinnuoye, I hope I pronounced it right, how their connection is, and to the pharaoh who got murdered, and that's how the curse was brought on, and the Mummy was cursed from then on. Then he was brought back life by Patricia Velasquez's character, and then she ends up biting the big one, I think, near the end of the film. He does too. And then in the second one is where we pick up that she's trying to revive him, or the other way around, and like you see her, she's alive, but both of them get reincarnated, get crazy. They want to go and capture the Scorpion King's power so they can really wreak havoc. More adventures. You got crazy monkeys in the jungle. Rick's on his adventures with his daughter. Son's introduced. They have a kid, which was great. The way they were all after the same kind of thing and how it all ends up together. Results are crazy. Shitty part, like I was saying earlier in my non-spoiler portion, is the Scorpion King part. When they introduced, he looked like shit. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It looked so bad. It took you out of the movie. They could have just left Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because they had flashbacks of him in his human form before he gets his powers. It shows you how he gets his powers, and that becomes the Scorpion King, making a deal with Anubis, guys, which freaking awesome. I love Egyptology and all that cool stuff, but it explains how he got it. But the way he was kind of like this creature scorpion thing, and they had to fight him and shit, it looked shitty. It looked so bad. Like, honest to God, they should go back and fix it and then re-release the damn thing. But whatever, that's the only downfall. And then we get into the third one. So that they end up beating him and whatever the crap, sending everybody back. The mummy dies again, and that's the last of them. We're thinking that he's going to come back, but he didn't. So in the third one, big changes happen. We got Evie's, the lead role of Evie was recasted to Maria Bello. She played in Coyote Ugly. She's the bar manager, if you don't know who that is. She replaced Rachel Weisz. She didn't want to come back, apparently, after 7 or 8 years, which I don't blame her. Rick O'Connell came back, which was basically Brendan Fraser, which I'm glad he came back. We got an older version of Alex. He gets into trouble. He drags his parents somehow into it. The Dragon Emperor is what they were discovering in China. So Jet Li plays the new Dragon Emperor. Ruthless leader, powerful, whatever. They put a curse on him, and he kind of like disappeared until, like always, somebody comes across, reads a couple of scripture, and he comes back and wreaks havoc. So they're trying to stop him. Michelle Yeoh's character is introduced. She was protecting or guarding him, and she can kind of match his skills, but of course they need everybody's help. You know how it works. Amazing fight scenes. Love it. It felt like Indiana Jones again. Like, if you guys are all into the Indiana Jones vibe there, that's what you kind of got. Great to see it. Traveling to different parts of the world, like China with the winter, and you had the Yeti and all that crap, mystical creatures, and the fight scenes. Yes, it was over the top in that one. It was a little ridiculous compared to the other two. Not my strongest one, but it's there. It's still watchable, in my opinion. But the fight scenes, you'll love it, guys. Jet Li did an amazing job with what he had. All the actors came. Whoever was involved did not phone it in. It looked good. That movie could have came out, in my opinion, 2-3 years before. It would have performed better, and maybe we would have had a Mummy 4, 5, and 6. You never know. But instead we got that Tom Cruise reboot, which was kind of so-so. But my overall, guys, for the trilogy, those are some of the highlights. I like it. I still recommend it. Even with the flaws of the Mummy Returns with the Scorpion King, the end fight scene looking like shit, to tell you the truth. And Maria Bello replacing Rachel Weisz, which she didn't do a bad job or anything, just... you lost that chemistry that you got from the first one right to the end. But from beginning to end, it's watchable. It's over 6 hours of movie fun entertainment. Special effects are not too outdated, in my opinion. Love it. First movie still holds a big part in my heart there. Top 10 movies for me personally. Would it make all you guys' lists? Probably not. But hey, like I said, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But I definitely highly recommend the Mummy trilogy starring Brendan Fraser. 2 different directors, but they did a good job. I enjoyed it. I liked it. And of course, it's on the movie recommendation list of mine, so I'm recommending it to all you guys. You guys let me know in the comment sections, like always, what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Not disagree with me? Let me know what's your thoughts, because I read them and I respond. Like you guys know, I take the time to do so. Okay, guys, so that is my Mummy movie trilogy review starring Brendan Fraser. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out my other videos and content right here on the Movie Throne. Check out my other YouTube channels. You know where to find them. I'll post them on the screen so you guys can see it. Most importantly, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you guys can be notified that every week something's going to be dropping. And I'll let you guys know when things are up or, when the plans have changed. I'm very informative that way. And if you guys follow me, you know exactly what's going on. So there you go. This is this week's movie review right here on the Movie Throne, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Most importantly, go check out movies for yourself. Stay safe. Stay off the King's Throne. And I will definitely see you next week right here on the Movie Throne. Take it easy.